Oh, damn it. Always with the mute. Always. I can't do it. Hello, welcome to another amazing, fantastic, entertaining sort of episode of Live from the Kingdom. My name is Paul Inman, and thanks for being here again tonight. You know what we do here, right? We talk about stories from Keys to the Kingdom. We have special guests. We try to, not suck at doing the live stream, but you know what? Let's just bring up my buddy, my pal, my friend, the amazing Billy Hanson. Am I going to get this right, Billy? I don't know.
I mean, I think
Hey,
you've gotten it right the whole time so far. I think you're doing great.
listen, man, you're going to have to take over these intros sometime
I
because I have no idea what's happening anymore.
feel like it's going to be like Wayne's World when they cut to Garth and he's just like,
Right. That's what I feel like doing. Like, next episode, that's how we're starting. And just
sweet, just real close. Yeah, real close.
Yep, extreme close up. I'm all off the rails. Billy, we just finished an amazing episode, and thank you for those of you who are in the chat. Let's hit up some. Bam! We just finished. Yeah, we just finished. And Karen, we're back. We are back. We never left. That's how.
Round two.
Yeah, round two. Let's do it again, right? So, Billy, tell me about a story in your life from your children, because you constantly text me funny stories, and I just wanted to see if there's any that you want to share, because there's one that's from the other. Never mind, I'll let you do it. Go.
Oh, I don't know what one you're thinking about.
Okay, well, just give me one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, okay. A funny story for my kids. I'll relate it to this. So, I made a movie a few years ago.
By the way, I'm not putting you on the spot at all.
Oh, no, you not at all. I got a good one for you.
Okay, good.
So having kids and making movies is very difficult. And this is a bit of a horror story. I made an independent movie. I was editing it myself, and it was during COVID. It was during like, hey, no one else can be around me, so it was all me, right? I have a workstation where I was editing all my movie drives on here. I got my big editing system up here. And my toddler, who was, I believe, like 1.5 at the time, came to my sit stand desk and pushed the down button while I was on the other side of the room. And so the desk was lowering. And I didn't realize that my chair was underneath the desk. So my chair was here, my desk was here, and it did this. And the whole desk tipped backward, and all of my drives and my computer smashed on the ground. And as I was watching, there was nothing I could do. So I like ran over, grabbed my kid so he doesn't get crushed by anything falling, and just watched everything go.
Dude, that is a good one. I hadn't heard that one. And I hear a lot of
suspenseful, horrifying. It will instill fear in filmmakers with children. But it's like,
Ben, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for being here. And Ben has 2 young children. One of them.
Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. The happy ending to that story before we bring in our person is that I have a background in post-production. So I know that anything digital, you have several backups and you spread them out across town. So I was able to I saved the project. The computer was fine. So the drives were smashed, but I was able to reconstruct the whole project pretty quickly. A couple of weeks, I was back to where I was.
That's awesome. Man, that's a good one. I don't have one like that when it comes to editing. Usually my mishaps are just because I forgot to save, But autosave, I love autosave. But I've been doing this a long time. Autosave wasn't around in the beginning. So just real quick, let's talk about the campaign. I'm going to bring up the page. It's on the wrong page, of course, but I'm going to bring up the page. And when it loads here, Keys to the Kingdom. If you have not pre-ordered, please, click that link or get that link that's on the screen there. Is it still on our screen? Yes, it is. And go and take a look. There's a lot of great stuff here, a lot of good information, a lot of great things. We reveal a new story each week, and you can read about it. You can also go into the read section and have author spotlights, story log lines, which is here, and you can read a sample of my story, Red Eye, if you'd like to do that. And I believe there will be more samples coming up there sometime in the. I mean, I'm not going to say any names, Billy Hanson, but sometime maybe there will be.
Yeah.
So really,
that Billy Hanson guy's got to get his act together.
no, Billy the Butcher, man. That is now your new nickname because I decided after seeing Survival Type, Ben Higgins is ready for some more samples, and I agree with you.
All right.
So without further ado, Billy, we have a special friend here today.
Yes, we do. And this guy I had met before we brought him into this project. I, along with James Cox, put together a Dollar Baby Film Festival as part of Stan Lee's Kamikaze back in 2013. And we brought this guy's film in there, and it was a big hit, man. And so, yeah, Mando Franco.
Yes, welcome. Oh, you are muted.
While you're muted, I should say he did a great adaptation of The Boogeyman.
Yes, The Boogeyman.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
What a time to come off mute to thank you for the shout out. Appreciate it.
Oh, of course, dude.
Yeah, that was a good time, dude. Like, how many people can say they got introduced in front of an audience by Joe Bob Briggs? How many people get that privilege?
When we got him to come on board to host that thing, we were just like, oh, this is a new thing now. This is a new level of cool.
Yeah. Right. And it was just like, wow. And then it was before he came back on Shudder.
Mm-hmm.
Before he made his comeback with late night driving, so it's pretty rad.
That is rad.
And I gotta commend whoever got the porno intro music before the show started, because I was vibing.
Oh yeah,
I was totally vibing with that.
I get paranoid sometimes that I'm gonna get caught like back here, kind of like waiting for the countdown, and just like kind of grooving. The camera's gonna click on and be like, "Oh, sorry, I was dancing."
Yeah,
yeah, because I don't know if you saw me, but I was kind of doing this too. And I was like, "Oh, I can get into this. There's a beat. There's a beat to hit. There's a beat." But,
yeah, it was fun. So tell us a little bit about The Boogeyman and your experiences making the film, or the experiences since the film has been out, because it's been out for I'm not sure exactly the amount of years, but more than
like
12,
like about 12 years now.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
I think this year or next year is like kind of like the 13th anniversary, something like that.
Wow.
So yeah, dude. I mean, I think we've all heard of the Frank Darabont story of the Dollar Baby, and it's like, hey, you can adapt a Stephen King short story for $1, but no one knows how. And luckily, in the year of our Lord 2011, the internet gifted us with the World Wide Web, and I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Unrelated, I just happened to read the Night Shift collection. Anthology collection, and just there were two stories that stuck out to me. One was The Boogeyman, and the other one was I Know What You Need, which I think Julia did that one. Yeah. Oh man, I fucking love that story. But Boogeyman just like really struck a chord with me because it felt very grounded. Like, like we all know the Boogeyman is, made up, right? But let's just say it was real. I feel like that would be like an account of what it would be like if the supernatural entity came into a grounded reality. So that really stuck with me. I'm a big avid fan of true crime. So my twist on it was making it kind of like a modern, it starts off almost like a police procedural. Because we all know the media loves to expose and exploit cases and people, and we're in the age of true crime and television, even back then, like 10 years ago when I did it. So I know if there was a story about a guy who had 3 infants that all died around the same age, it would be on a Dateline, dude. Like, freaking Keith would be like, this child was killed in its crib. Like there'd be like, people would be exploiting the shit out of it. And that's what my Boogeyman was. It was kind of exploiting the guy and then, seeing his side of the story. That's what interests me, because like it's so out there that it could be believable.
Yeah,
So,
man. So I saw
yeah.
your adaptation for the first time on I think it was the Stephen King Rules Film Fest when it was all a
Yeah.
stream, when it was all streamed. That was the first
Yeah.
time I had seen it, and I was like, "Whoa, this was a lot of fun." I really enjoyed it. Like I was
Thank
like,
you.
"This adaptation was really cool." And then when they a short while later, when they announced that they were going to do a big budget version of the film, I was like,
Yeah.
nah, they're not going to be able to do as good. That's not going to be. Now, I
That
can
was
confess.
kind of like the first time I got big britches. I'm like, you know what? I have thoughts on this movie, and I somewhat am entitled because technically I made it once, so I could say something. I mean, it's cool for what it was, but it wasn't really. I'm not going to diss on it, but
Oh no, I didn't
yeah,
see it.
yeah.
So I
Oh,
can't really
yeah.
say an opinion on it, other than no.
Well, off mic. We'll talk about it off mic.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you just based on our meeting, what, 10, 11, 12 years ago, and seeing your film and
Yes.
stuff, when Paul and I were putting this together, your name came up pretty quick. And so I'm
Oh,
happy we were able to connect again and get you involved in this anthology, because I'm excited, man. I'm
dude,
excited
thanks for
about your
having me.
story. Of course.
Yeah, I felt very honored to be like, because I know there are hundreds of dollar babies probably.
Oh
So
yeah.
I felt very like honored to be reached out to and asked to do this. I was like, oh shit, me? You guys saw Boogeyman? You liked Boogeyman? So
Oh yeah.
yeah, no, I was very thrilled, man, head over heels, man. So thank you. I appreciate the
Of
invite to
course.
come on this
Hey
ride.
man, we are just as stoked to have you as you are to be here. I mean, seriously. And
Yeah,
speaking of your story, we got a little
yeah.
exclusive for the people. That's what we do here. That's what we do.
Hmm.
So let's share a little bit about your story. Tell them the name of your story, and then we'll let you read the log line too. Okay.
Sure. So my story for our short story collection is called Copy. And in this twisted noir, a late night fare pulls a taxi driver into a web of violence and deception where he must survive the longest night of his life.
Yes, that is so awesome. This story is really cool, and I can't wait to share it with people. Like I keep saying that every week, every time we do this, but that's the honest truth. Like all of
Yeah.
these stories are just so rad and so cool. Copy is
Oh,
not an
yeah.
exception there. It is so awesome. It's a lot of fun. It's got some fun noir stuff in it. And oh, Julia, sorry, I'm ADHD with the chat here. Julia had me at noir. Sounds bitchin'. It is. Can't
Is
wait.
bitching.
Can't wait. And Karen, great lead in. Yeah, that's great. This story is really a lot of fun. I'm trying not to give things away.
It's hard not to.
It
Like,
is.
Yeah.
It is.
that's all you can really say is just that premise, because I'm a big fan. I'm very selfish in the aspect of I write and create things that I want to see.
Right.
Jordan Peele gave the best advice ever, which was make your favorite movie that hasn't been made yet. So everything is like, yeah, I want to see this. So I'm always interested and only truly interested in things I want to see or read. And Copy is a really good example of blending all the things I love. It's hard to really talk about some of the subject. It's kind of a mashup. I won't really say much more than that. In terms of genre, like it's definitely noir, but like I was watching Blade Runner, and that kind of started the. I've had the story, the concept, for a really long time. I just never put it down to paper, and it's just been kind of sitting on a back burner with like dozens of other ideas. And then when this came up, I'm like, I think this is time to flesh out this story. This will cast a pretty wide net. So I thought, let me go with this story because I've been holding on to Copy for a very long time.
Yeah, so you kind of gave us a little tease about where the inspiration came from. Is there anything
Yeah.
else beyond Blade Runner?
Um, yeah, I mean, just kind of like that kind of neo noir kind of that kind of neo noir kind of subgenre that was like in the 90s and the early thousands, even kind of now. Things like Memento, like early Christopher Nolan films like Memento and Following, things like Blade Runner. So noir is like a very big part of it. I'm also a huge fan of Twilight Zone. So part of me saw this in my head. Like the way I write is like I like to watch movies. Like I watch the movie in my head already done, and copy is like a grainy, high contrast black and white noir. Um,
Yeah, that's
Kind
a
of
good way
like
to
in a
explain
very it's set in on one night on a very rainy night. That's not a give. That doesn't give anything away. But the setting is very skyscraper city,
it. Yeah,
rural, rundown, gritty part of the city, rainy night in a taxi cab. I mean, that's the bulk of the story. And I just wrote a setting that I really liked, which is the noir kind of. I don't even say what year it is. It's clearly not modern, but there's nothing to say it's in the future either.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
It's got a really
I mean,
cool
there's some things that
timeless
might make you
quality
think
to
it
it.
is in the future.
yeah.
Yeah,
Timeless.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I think it's just and I'm trying to cut back on some of the particulars because it's kind of broad in some aspects. So there's a lot you could do with it if you ever were to adapt it. There's just plenty of places to go.
of course, and that's not something that we've talked about really much on this live stream. Part of the idea is for us, we want to kind of give back to what we got out of the Dollar Baby program, and these stories. The intention is to make them available to be adapted. A lot of that is
Yeah.
going to come on the back end when the book is really finished and going through the publishers wherever that may be, ink shares or whatever, because logistically legalities we may run into some speed bumps, but I don't know, but the goal, our hope is that these can be in the same vein as the Dollar Baby program. That was a big draw for me, and that was the idea. And we did talk about this early on. That Billy came when I shared my idea of, hey, I think it'd be cool to bring these people together to make an anthology. And Billy had said, let's what if we could, sort of, I don't want to say carry the torch, but I mean, you know what I mean, like sort of go forward in the same vein, right? It's really cool. Mondo, you also just finished shooting. I've been watching all of your social media because I love to check it out and see what you're doing. And it looks like you had a good time, man. That concert scene, I hope I'm not giving it away, but that scene was really cool. It seemed like it was cool, at least. I was like over there fangirling, looking at all your pictures and stuff. It was awesome. It's called Reaper Road. Reaper Road, right?
Yeah, man. Reaper Road, yeah. Reaper Road has been a project that been in the works for about 5 years, and we've been shooting off and on for about 2 years. So, and we're finally done. We're like 98% in the can.
That's awesome.
I'm pretty thrilled with it. Yeah,
so
thank you, man. Yeah, that concert scene looks like it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars when it really, production value is very high. I am very blessed with the amount of extras we had and the crew I had to work with. Pretty fucking solid.
That's awesome, man. Give us a little a little elevator pitch on what it is, or sell it for us.
Yeah, sure. Reaper Road is about 2 young women on the way home from a rock concert, and they take a road into the backwoods for a shortcut, and they end up stuck on a road that never ends, that leads to a hellish dimension. So basically, it is like 80% set inside a car with our 2 lead characters. We don't cut away to any other stories. They are the A storyline. So it's extremely dialogue heavy and character driven. The biggest movies that inspired it were like my love letters to Blair Witch and Evil Dead, basically.
Nice.
So it's not found footage, but it's very intimate. So we're just with our characters the whole movie, and we're discovering things when they discover things. So the audience isn't a step ahead. They're in the car with our two leads. And it's almost like driving your car through the woods that Evil Dead is set in, or driving through Silent Hill,
That's cool,
basically.
man.
Nice.
And yeah, so and I don't, this isn't a spoiler or anything, but I don't say what year it is, but it's not modern. So no one has cell phones. So I think we're roughly around the same age. So if you remember when we got lost back in the day, when our parents were driving us somewhere, they had to pull out a map. There was no GPS. There was no cell phone to call for help. You're just with your wits and trying to figure out where you are. So I took it back to a more primitive time.
Yeah, cell phones throw a big wrench into stories.
Yeah, my first draft of Reaper Road had cell phones in modern day, and they're like, "Oh, I can't get a signal on my phone. Oh no, my battery's dying." It was like I lost like 6, 7 pages of dialogue just getting rid of all the cell phone shit, and it just made it more. It just made it more scary. You know, it was just more terrifying. And you know, the woods are a scary place already, and there are no street lights. It's only their headlights of the car, and that's all they got.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, man, that sounds cool. Do you have any kind of date that you're thinking?
So we are in post-production. So we're pretty much done filming. There's a little bit of B-roll we need to grab. I added a cold opening to the movie that we're actually going to shoot in June. It's going to be a one-night shoot. It's disconnected from the rest of the film. We got Wyatt Reed from Predator 2 to play our lead in that scene, the opening scene of the movie, which makes me geek out because I'm a huge Predator 2 fan. But yeah, we're shooting that. We're editing the rest of the film. We're hoping to be picture locked by summer in sound, visual effects, mixing, music by fall. So hopefully around Thanksgiving, around Christmas, we should have a complete project all done. So
that's cool, man. Congrats on that.
Well,
So
I gotta say, like the one of the things I really love about this collection of people is that everyone involved, like it's people who are working right now, who are telling stories like constantly for a living, and like we just talked to Bolin who just wrapped his feature, and you were talking to you wrapped your feature, like all the the stories that we're getting are from people who love storytelling so much that we're making it our lives. Like it's what all of our lives are about. I just think that's a really cool thing that everyone's got stuff going on, and we're lucky enough to get these stories from you guys, and it's very cool.
Yeah, man, there's so many kick-ass storytellers on this thing. It's really cool.
I know, man. I'm so cool. Like, genuinely, I say this, but I swear to you, I'm so excited. This is going. It's just awesome. It's just so awesome. Speaking of story, let's hit him with it one more time, Mando.
All right. In this twisted film noir, a late-night fair pulls a taxi driver into a web of violence and deception where he must survive the longest night of his life. And this is written by moi, Mando Franco.
All right. So let's share this. Oh, I got the wrong one. See, this is why you don't do 2 in one night, fellas. I do have it. I just didn't put it up. Didn't put the right one up. There it is.
If I jinxed it, I apologize. It was my fault.
No, you didn't. It was just me being a terrible live streamer. That's par for the course. So share your socials there, please, sir.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram. That's usually where I'm most active at L_Mandalorian. That's Mondalorian, not Mandalorian. EL_Mandalorian. And then you can follow Reaper Road, the feature film that I was just discussing, at Reaper.Road Film on Instagram. So Reaper.Road Film.
Cool.
That's the Instagram and handle for the movie.
Sweet.
So
awesome.
That's awesome, man. And attaboy Billy, atta.boy.billy. That's Billy the Butcher back there. And Paul Inman, SC, that's me. And next week, we have Mr. DF Jester. Almost said it wrong there. I was misreading. And
that's an author name right there.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So make sure you join us next Wednesday night, and we will do this again. For Mondo and Billy, my name's Paul, and we appreciate you So very much check out the book, Keys to the Kingdom. If you haven't got a copy yet, maybe pre-order. If you did get a copy, maybe share it with a friend or three. Maybe they'll like it. All right, we will see you next time. Thank you so much for coming out. And now I'm stalling because I got to get the music ready. Okay, here we go. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.